We move through our daily routines under the constant assumption of security. In a school hallway, on a highway, or inside our own homes, we inherently assume safety simply because the environment is mundane. This creates a profound biological vulnerability. Human psychology is hardwired for complacency, causing our internal threat assessment filters to power down the moment we enter a familiar space. Predators exploit this blind spot through a strategic framework designed to weaponize our surroundings. It is a system of isolation that operates through three distinct methodologies: circumstance, opportunity, and deception. If your everyday routine unknowingly led you into an engineered ambush, would you recognize the moment the floor dropped away? Would you see the trap snapping shut before you were out of time? There is a specific, chilling weight to the mathematical realization that a routine environment has been intentionally engineered to isolate you with a threat. In a quiet school basement, a computer intern finds himself trapped during an active shooter lockdown. He is alone in an office that lacks a locking door, forced to huddle in the dark as the school's power is cut. The basement door creaks open. Footsteps approach, and a panicked man in a red plaid shirt and a cap rushes into the room, whispering that he is a parent looking for a place to hide. The intern, seeing a fellow victim, lets him in. A text message arrives from a coworker upstairs. It contains a description of the shooter, a man wearing a red shirt and a hat. The intern looks up from the screen. The man sitting inches away from him in the darkness is wearing that exact outfit. The person he is hiding with is the person the school is hiding from. He bolts for the stairs, the man giving chase. As the intern reaches the exit, a gunshot echoes through the basement, ricocheting behind him. This is the trap of circumstance. It relies on environmental panic to bypass logical defenses, making a victim willingly seek shelter with the predator. Other traps are built through the manipulation of physical space. Imagine an unstaffed highway rest stop at 3 in the morning. It is miles from the nearest town, with only one other car in the lot. You find the men's room door locked, forcing you into the women's room. Inside, an anonymous figure begins to beat violently on the door from the hallway, slamming against the wood with terrifying aggression. When the slamming stops and you cautiously exit, the men's room door is now wide open. A trail of fresh, muddy footprints leads from that door, directly past the bathroom where you were hiding, and straight to your driver's side door. You retreat to a stall in the men's room to gather your senses, only for a pair of boots to enter the adjacent stall. The stranger doesn't use the toilet. He stands perfectly still, facing the dividing wall, staring at the spot where you are sitting. Sensing the bottleneck, you bolt from the stall and through the door, reaching your car and reversing, just as a man in a green sweatshirt emerges from the building to pursue you. This is the trap of opportunity. A predator identifies an isolated target and subtly alters the environment, propping open doors or lingering near the victim's vehicle to herd them into a predictable, inescapable position. The final method is the most invasive because it targets emotional trust. During the lockdowns, a lonely narrator matches with a woman named Bianca on Tinder. She seems perfect, sharing every niche interest and hobby he possesses. Skeptical of a catfish, he requests a FaceTime call. When she answers and speaks with him for 2 hours, his guard drops. The digital image has been replaced by a human connection, dissolving his spatial awareness. Bianca claims she's leaving town at dawn and asks to meet at a desolate rest stop at 6 in the morning. When he arrives, she texts him, explicitly instructing him to leave the pavement and walk into the dark, unlit bushes behind the building. As he struggles through the brush, a sense of dread takes over. He stops and dials Bianca's phone. A second later, a ringtone jingles from the dark corner of the building, near a vending machine. A figure steps out from the shadows of the machine. It is a tall, skinny man holding a glowing phone. He is not Bianca. The trap of deception is uniquely dangerous. It requires the predator to engineer complete geographical isolation by weaponizing the victim's own desires against them. In each of these cases, survival wasn't a matter of physical strength or outmaneuvering an attacker in combat. Instead, escape was triggered by a single jarring contradiction. a text message that exposes a lie, muddy footprints appearing where they shouldn't be, or a ringtone playing from the wrong hand. These specific details were the only evidence that a routine space had been transformed. The greatest obstacle to survival is the urge to rationalize these details away. To stay safe, you have to accept the reality of the contradiction the moment you see it, rather than trying to explain it. When your intuition identifies that one impossible detail, and you realize you are no longer in a safe environment, do not wait for proof. Do not investigate. Just run.